the overlords at YouTube, the ones who taking on the role of God, assuming they can just change me and represent my identity and everything else. You know, they just keep they've gone through a whirlwind in the last like month where they're like, all right, what should Alex's identity? What should he be interested? What should the only thing he should be interested in today be?
I wish my YouTube took this interest in me. Because
I don't know, man. I think they're trying to make it into like some sort of like I think they're trying to fucking like. They're doing like some, MGK, not Machine Gun Kelly. Oh, that's bad. That goes down in the L column for sure. That's like a standout blemish on my fucking permanent record where I go up to heaven. Like, so just to clarify, you said instead of MK Ultra, you said MGK. That's a fucking sin right there.
I honestly thought it would have gone unnoticed if you didn't bring someone's attention to it.
It doesn't deserve to go unnoticed. That was one of those things that I should bask in the sadness of that fucking.
Well, I guess that really
blunder.
shows the difference between you and me. Because I'm the type of guy who let that one slide.
Sweep it all under the rug? No. I need to know. You ever see the Da Vinci Code?
Yes, I have.
You ever see Paul Bettany where he's flailing himself?
Yeah.
That's
what you do?
me.
That's how you stay in line and stay disciplined.
That's actually how I stay in such a straight and narrow. Remember, when I said a while back how you take one step in the direction that isn't you, the next step's not you either?
Yeah, it's pretty deep, honestly. Right? Yeah.
The way I keep on the straight path is just that fucking around my leg, just with the fucking little metal teeth and everything,
nice,
you know?
Nice. I think that's a little extreme. Maybe you should dial it back a little bit. But then again, why should I question perfection?
Yeah, what are you, YouTube? Yeah. What, you're going to try to change my personality now? You think that one week it should be about politics, the next week it should be about YouTube, which, it should be about Star Wars, which, again, that connection I saw, I get it. There's Star Wars, very political, The whole, everyone complains about the prequels being too political. But now it's saying, you know what, Alex? You're actually a crime psych major now, and criminal justice, and the only thing you're allowed, if you want, hey, you can use whatever platform you want, but if you want to use our services, the only thing we're going to recommend to you, the only thing you're allowed to see under our suggestion is its interrogation videos.
Is there any slight transition to these things where you'll see a few political videos, or it's the next day you wake up, it's there? I
mean, there's only two options. Either A, that it's very, very, very just spur of the moment, they're manically changing their mind, or I have
they see you comply so well,
dissociative personality disorder, and perhaps there's another version of me which isn't, searching these things. I'm like, how the hell these come from? So I don't know. I think it's the former, not the latter. But after watching it, incessantly watching now for the last 12 hours, my entire waking being has just been like, yeah, that is interesting. They shifted in their seat. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what that means. Okay, so basically my point is the fact
you're a very
that
disturbed individual.
Yeah. All right, that one hit.
Sorry.
No, what I was gonna say is the one thing I have noticed though is that micro expressions, which I've heard cops they're the truth, but I don't take it. You can't entirely follow them. It's a very loose understanding of this. So shut the fuck up, all right? With the actual answer here, stupid assholes. They tell a piece of the story, not the whole story. It's like, okay. So, with that being said, that opinion, what I've decided, the right thing that I have stumbled upon, okay, is that micro expressions are actually entirely fabricated. They're just it's like when Marty was saying how
I'm sorry, what'd you say? Microaggressions?
Expressions.
I don't know why I keep hearing aggression. What does that mean exactly?
Like turning your palms up when you're talking to someone so that they can feel you're coming from the place of not inferiority but lesser on the ranking of them, and that you're asking them to believe you, so you're putting your hand as if you're put your paw to submit to someone. So you're kind of saying, if I was talking, I'm like, I didn't piss in your drink, and I'd put my palm up, and I'd be like, see how my hands are, you oh, he's just invited, he's not clenching his fist. It's it's showing. He's like, oh, he must be telling the truth. I swear, I did not take a piss in your drink.
That sounds so stupid. I don't know if I
didn't do it. No, but they're not usually about pissing in drinks. They're usually in a much more serious. I didn't do it, and they put their hand up. It's inadvertent. It's not something it's not something that they're consciously doing. Micro expressions are things that they're saying that you do naturally, like looking up to the left. And if you look up and you're talking to someone, you look to the left, it implies you're having an internal monologue. And you're thinking of something. No one feel odds. Look to the right now. You're talking to me. Look up to the left. Your whole head tilts. Now look to the right.
Oh my God! Wow,
that's not something people do.
Oh wow! I was gonna be like, this is so fucking stupid. I'm gonna turn my head to the right. It's gonna feel exactly the same.
No, it doesn't, because no one looks up to the right to think.
Not only is it gonna feel exactly the same, then also gonna rip me apart for fucking not just feeding into this and being one of the followers. To the left, but dude, if
you kind of tilt your head down, you're like, huh? And you look up for a second. No one does. Huh.
Dude, I feel like my head was going to fall off turning it to the right.
All right, no one turns their body that way. So that's a micro expression. Now you turn your head to the left, it means you're having an internal conversation. You're looking up to the left, right? That's a thing. That's a thing they say. Now, while all these things seem true, and my point was what Marty said in Ozark, where he said how you can't find one person cheating, you can find 1,000 people cheating through the averages. I think it's one of those things where it's like, well, it might suggest it. It's like, oh, I guess those cops are right. It's not the whole story. It's a part of the story. But no, I think it's all alive. What I actually think it is a long con in which they're going to have also like the cops are letting the secrets out there, they're letting common folk know about these fucking things about micro. That's doing a good point. Is they're trying to make it so we're so paranoid and fearful of every single thing we do. We sit there with no expression, lifeless, and just be completely fucking just a shell of a person. Like, so then now their jobs can be even easier. Like, guys, he's clearly the killer. Look how he's fucking insane. He's fucking insane. He's just sitting there answering the same cadence for everything, no movements. And like they're saying how like for instance, the way I'm sitting up right now, right? Because now I would say, in my personal opinion, the reason why my right leg is over my left leg, it's just like crossing off this way, is because it's comfortable. And because it's a way in which I like sitting, I'm a little fidget, I can kind of grab my ankle and move it around.
Actually,
a cop would say, actually, it's because you're putting up a barrier to keep distance between you and me.
See, that's what I was going to say before. I don't buy into that.
And it's like, all right, that's my point. These things are. There might
be. The other thing you said before was,
listen, spot on. There might be, every dog has its day. Okay, there might be a few things in there that are, worth potentially looking into, and maybe there's some, law of averages. But my point here is that it's all a giant conspiracy theory to have it in which people go into interrogation rooms and think, I'm just going to have zero human emotion, which will then have a fucking person be like, see, guys, this person's clearly a killer. Look how they disassociate themselves from reality. They don't show any signs of panic. They're clearly a deranged serial killer.
See, I think you'd be phenomenal at that because you exhibit 7 of the 9 signs.
9 of the 7.
You got 2 more signs no one else even knew about. That's how spot on you are with it. But how do you think you'd respond in an interrogation scenario?
Well, I'm going to say what I saw in a comment on one of these videos, okay? So I cannot be held accountable for anything I say, right? This will not be admissible, okay? This is me not saying my own opinion. It's me reading a comment I saw on a video, huh?
Just say quote.
Quote. Yeah, you're right. Quote. I was quote. 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 I was wondering and fearful about how I would do in an interrogation room, thinking what I would do, what I would say. But then I realized I would never be in a situation where I would be put into an interrogation room because I would never do anything wrong, end quote. And I agree with that. While I may have had thoughts for a moment about how I would handle an interrogation room, of course I would commit no crimes that would involve me being put into an interrogation room. So everything I'm saying today in any criminal manner is just for the narrative of information and sharing things. It's not a comedy podcast today, actually. I lied. That whole thing the other week where I was like, it should be funnier. It's actually not true at all. This is actually an informational podcast. Now it's a true crime podcast. So that's not an oversaturated market whatsoever. Hey guys, so today we're going to be reviewing the axe murders of Billy Lake.
The one I listened to about the Colts.
Shut the fuck. I hope they kill you. I hope Billy Lake kills you next.
Just small little tangent. The one I listened to about the Colts, it's 2 hosts, and the one guy does he leads the narration, if you will.
And the other guy's just a great question. Like, oh my God, what happened next?
Oh my God. Sidekick. Always does the psychology aspect, but he always goes.
Well, then they're missing the third person.
No, shut up.
No, you shut up for a second. That's why the problem wasn't good. You listen to another episode?
I've listened to probably 20 episodes.
Okay, well, that's actually just stupid.
Because there's something else to listen to. I don't have the patience to
they're
find
missing the fucking
else.
third person that's in that arrangement who's clueless. Who can be like, wait, so you're telling me?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That'd be so much better.
You're telling me that he took an axe and he cut. How'd he kill him with it?
Dude, we should just start a true crime podcast and do that.
I'll play all 3 parts.
Honestly,
I'll play all 3 parts.
Yeah, fine. So be it. Because the problem with that honestly, I told you, I've mentioned them several times. It's called Cults. That's okay. Every time.
Honestly, good on them for that. Good on them for getting that name.
I know. Somehow.
And more importantly than that, it's like even if I was given the chance to go back to let's say 2012 and like I'm gonna make a true crime podcast, right? Yeah. I'd be like, Colts is definitely taken. I would just immediately move on to the next name. I wouldn't even think to look it up.
Also, I apologize for saying you're a disturbed individual because you watch this shit in your free time, whereas I go to work in other people's houses to paint, and then I listen to cult podcasts about how people kill and murder and rape.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens.
So maybe I'm just as disturbed as you are. But that podcast, though, it's the same formula every time with these 2 idiots act like they're having a conversation that's not scripted in front of them. And it's like, if there's just a third fucking... Yeah, you might as well. If there's just a third person, like, whoa, wait, what they do?
The person saying, no, yeah, I totally... Agree with you completely.
It would change up
genuine.
the continuous pattern.
The monotony.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't think of the word. If the third person was there just to go fucking... Yeah.
If the third person was a Zac Efron type who just asked stupid questions and was marveled by any answer, even
that'd be
true or
amazing.
Wrong. Yeah, Zac Efron should get into he's already got himself into the whole shitty, not quite even travel TV, which, I never thought was it travel TV?
I think it was Netflix.
No. I know his was Netflix. What's that channel called? Is that travel? Is that like where are all those dumb shows on? Is that True TV or Travel TV or something?
Travel's got like basically just the bullshit ghost stuff.
Okay, so True TV has those like adventure where like we're gonna go to Argentina and try these amazing empanadas. That's True TV. Wow, maybe we need a third person in this one too to actually answer the questions I ask sometimes.
I don't know. To be honest with you, bro,
I was gonna say, I never thought that the True TV or Travel TV or any of those networks. I never thought that those would be like the standard where it's like you're not even as good as those. I thought those were the bottom of the barrel. But then Netflix comes around and does like, here's a show with Zac Efron, someone who's vastly not even just criminally underqualified to be doing this kind of a show. At least Chris Hemsworth on Disney is like, oh, I'll hang out of a fucking helicopter. I'll do some cool things. I'll do a little bit Fear Factor-esque with it. But Zac Efron's like, no, I'm going to sit in the back of a fucking cab and just kind of smile and talk about things a little bit and do voiceovers. Have a little water, talk about a little water. Dude, you couldn't even, you could not swim through that in a river.
I was going to say that when you were done talking, you scumbag.
All right, Zach. No, this isn't about Zac Efron for once. This is about True Crime Podcast and how micro expressions are clearly.
Before we get that, I want to see the one thing that the chick does. Every time,
all about you.
No,
Robbie.
It's just 2 seconds. I could have had it done if you didn't cut me off every 30 seconds. The guy, every time he says, her name's Claire for argument's sake, he goes, and Claire's going to dissect, explains the psychology behind our case today. However, it's important she's not an actual licensed therapist.
Oh, okay. It's like I was gonna say Claire sounds like a girl who would be very into psychology.
And then she always goes, "Thanks, Dick." She said his name's not Dick, but her tone is always "Thanks, Dick." Like no one thinks she's actually qualified to do this. Funny. It's a fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's funny. That's also fuck that. I hate that you have to. That's such a dumb thing that you have to explicitly say you're not an expert.
Who gives a shit if they're experts? Who fucking cares?
Who fucking gives a fuck, dude? Who fucking cares at all? Like, what's the fucking point? Like, why do I need to say I'm not a fucking expert? You should know better. Are you an expert? You should figure out who the fucking experts are. Don't just assume I'm a fucking expert because I'm talking about something.
As we all know, a podcast is all lies. Whatever you're saying on a podcast is lies.
I'm trying to fucking, I'm trying to make a nut. Trying to have a quick buck. Well, I'm a fucking expert now.
That'd be so great if that was the response.
That was the defense?
Of course not. What the fuck am I? I'm
not a fucking expert. Expertise this, okay? Fuck. Hey, whoa. I'm a fucking expert. Oh, it's a fucking show.
It's a fucking
show.
That's great.
The fuck you think I'm a fucking expert for? No, it's true though. It's fucking all asinine. I know these videos are actually really fun to watch, even though YouTube's just, I don't know. I don't even know if they are. I have nothing to put them against. It's just YouTube's giving me this like, I watch it. I don't know.
I think the fact that you continue to watch it proves they're fun to watch.
It's not that, Robbie. You put one thing on YouTube, it's like, oh, this is the only suggestions you ever want for the entire life is just this. You know how quickly YouTube's algorithm breaks immediately?
Yeah.
Proof of it, this podcast should have 12 million active listeners every single week.
Yeah, I guess the algorithms are broken.
It really broke. It just hasn't happened. I don't fucking know what to tell you. And also, it's like, views are going up, subscriber count's going up way slower than views are.
Yeah, but it's going up, which is nice. It's pissing me off too, but it's going up, which is nice. It's nice to see
and again, it's like, it's the more pot you plant, the more pot you can smoke. It's that simple. It really is. It's that simple, everyone. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's quick. It's easy. It's painless. All you need to do, if you're thinking like, oh, I just can't get, I don't have enough money to spare. Fine. You have connections to spare.
I was going to say at least subscribe.
For that too.
No, don't do it. We can't do it. We can't.
You can't subscribe. That's stupid. Okay, all I'm saying is that if you want to tell people, if you want to tell other people about it, you could that's totally a prerogative. I'm not gonna stop you from doing that. It's a free country.
We don't care if you do.
I don't give a fuck. It's a fucking show. I don't give a fuck. It's a fucking professional expertise thing. I don't give a fuck whatsoever.
We fucking experts. We give a fuck. Care. Dude, I don't understand how we just achieved that kind of comedy. We just
how
did we even grasp that?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy. Comedy. I always say you can't create comedy. You just gotta find it.
It's true though. We didn't plan that.
Yeah, I didn't invent criminology
or Italian accents.
I just found it in the real world.
That's amazing.
It's just crazy, man. It's such a big, expansive world. So many things to talk about. So much comedy to find.
He's getting a lot of shit lately, but he really might be like a
prophet.
Prophet. I was gonna say philosopher, but
no,
that's insulting to prophets.
It's honestly insulting to fucking the other word you said before prophet, psychologist. What'd you say?
Therapist.
No, you didn't say therapist. You said he might be a
philosopher.
A philosopher, thank you.
I can't remember it either.
That's fucking philosopher. He was saying, what were they talking about, man? Philosophers?
Andrew Schultz being
oh yeah, he's a philosopher.
No, he's not. He's a prophet.
It's insulting to philosophers to even toy with giving them that kind of a big head. It's like a giant. You're blue balling and blue tubing them.
Blue tubing them. Dude, that's such a great expression. We should talk
blue
about
tubing. How good don't trust. I don't know. Man. Juxtapositions. It's funny, but I think we should. I don't know. That's a bit of a shift.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. I'm sorry. It's good. It's a good thing you're here to reel it back in.
And man, it is what it is. It really is what it is. But yeah. So basically, these YouTubes decided that I'm going into fucking law enforcement. I guess I don't know. Maybe a criminal profiler. Maybe one of these imaginary fairy tale fucking. This is a tire track expert. He's gonna. We actually have your tire tracks here, so we can tell you did the crime because these tires you drove and you've clearly handcrafted them yourself. They can only look this way because they've been made and tailored by you, not as if you put them off an assembly line made 7,000 miles away in a foreign country. No. These tires. We have an expert here. That guy over there, and he says, in his opinion, his expert opinion, might I add, that those tire tracks and those impressions of the crime scene actually match your tire tracks as well. So,
the defense holds weight. The 1967 Buick Skylark couldn't possibly make those tread marks.
Wow. You were sitting on that egg for a while.
I was, dude. I was waiting for you to shut the fuck up.
I saw you looking at me. I'm like, I could tell.
Is that why you
your micro expressions?
Yeah,
I'm not going to give you the satisfaction. I'm not going to fucking bend the knee. So I keep talking, like, all right, what's this going to be? What's this going to be? And you know what? For once,
yeah, it wasn't bad.
It was pretty solid.
Thank you.
It's pretty solid. But no, really, it's like tire tracks. We're going to pretend the tire tracks. And then this cop's like...
It's as dumb as the boot print you said last time.
Funny enough, you mentioned that. My next complaint was going to be...
the boot print, like you said last time.
I'm not sure if it was the same guy in the department. Maybe they had a tire track expert and a foot impression expert. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that they apparently have at least one of each, or at least one guy who's an expert, maybe, if you would, in both of those fields. So they're talking to this guy, and then he's got it fucking locked in. He seems unstirred. And then they mentioned, they just throw the word expert out there. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, shit. They got expert. Fuck. And this cop's saying to him, he's like, so we have an expert looking at the footprints, and I'll be honest with you, footprint impression, it's just as good as a fingerprint. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. What? The fuck you just say to me?
That's interesting because I feel like a boot print is not as unique as that thing that makes everybody unique, like their fucking fingerprint. Considering those boots are, I don't know, mass produced.
And it's like, it's not even like he said, we've talked to your fucking, we discovered that you had orthopedic surgery last year. Talked to the orthopedic.
So you drag this one print.
And we saw how apparently you were displaying comfort. Those Dr. Scholl's things at Walmart shows you the percentage in color. It's like green, red, yellow, how much pressure you put on your foot. Apparently, we looked at that. They didn't even say they looked at one of those things and they could tell the pressure, the way the imprint was made. No, they just said, well, we can tell that it matches your shoe, so clearly you're guilty. He's like, clearly I'm guilty. I guess you're right.
He really wasn't an expert.
I guess you're completely correct. If an expert says it, it must be true. If you're just telling me, you're a cop, if you're telling me that boot prints are the same thing, or maybe even better, at least on par with fingerprints, I guess it must be true. I never heard that before, but you're saying to me, so I'm just going to say, yep, I fucking did it. Yes, I did. My wife must be pretty fucking, you call her yet? Yeah, she's probably pretty upset about this. I'd say so. I do think that, yeah. No, I would have preferred to be able to talk to. Thank you for trying. I understand you trying to keep it, but that's the news is out there. I get it. I understand. I'm guilty. It's like, okay.
You kind of sound like
who?
It might be best you think that way.
Haley Joel Osment, nice. Honestly, that's a compliment, dude.
Yeah,
Haley Joel Osment, I could see doing very well in an interrogation room.
You see, that brings me back to my question before. How do you think you would personally do? Because I can tell you how I would do it.
I don't know. Honestly, I think the first thing you have to do is, this is shocking people too. Oh my God, this one idiot too. The cop said, I'm going to read you your Miranda rights. And then this chuckle fuck decided to recite the Miranda rights to him. He's like, oh, is it the Miranda rights? And he went through the entire thing. It's like, yeah, make sure that this person knows you're an expert of what cop procedure is. That's not a red flag whatsoever. That's interesting. The Miranda, that's cops. Some cops carry a little fucking note card. I'm not kidding you. A laminated note card they carry to read the Miranda rights. And this kid knows off the top of his head.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you can. I don't know all of it, but I'm just going to jump to the end. Fuck you.
Exactly. That's the point. Okay, this guy is like, you have the right to an attorney. You cannot afford an attorney. An attorney will be pointed toward. He has all of it down.
I know the gist of it. I just don't know the actual verbiage.
Yeah. The point is, so basically, when you're getting interrogated, if you've been read your Miranda rights, you can leave.
Just at any point in time?
Any point in time, you just leave the interrogation.
Announce that you're going to? You just literally stand up and walk out?
I think it would be kinder of you. It'd be more respectful if you said, I'm actually just going to fuck off and leave. But I think in theory, you could probably just get up and say, and just walk away, and walk away. I don't know. I think you could. But at the same time, you need to have a lawyer immediately. Because first off, just not because even if everyone's like, having a lawyer makes you look guilty. It's like, no, I mean, it doesn't. Intelligent. Because even though, we love to say innocent until proven guilty, it's actually a lot of the time guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if you're innocent, you should still have a lawyer because, you are a pedestrian with a pedestrian brain versus a lawyer with a lawyer brain. And a lawyer brain is going to be like, all right, maybe don't answer that question. Instead of you being like, oh, I want to be truthful and forthcoming. And also, not to mention, it's like, even though 9 times out of 10, the cop's just trying to do his job, there is that chance, and the off chance that they're just trying to pin something on you because it's easier for them to do that. So you shouldn't be talking. And even if you're innocent, and I'm not saying it, you know what the fucked up part is? Even if I'm saying it, the fucking societal predisposition, I'm like, it sounds like you're guilty for saying that. But no, you're not guilty for saying you need a lawyer. You should have a lawyer there with you all the time. You should never talk to anyone of any questioning whatsoever by yourself. Why? Because you're a dumb fucking idiot. And even if you are smart, you're still fucking dumb because you're not practiced. You can take a fight. You get money on these two guys. Both equal strength. One's been training for the last 365 days. One hasn't trained a single day in the last year. I'm thinking the guy's been training every single fucking day on that fight, even if they're equal strengths. Even if you're as smart as the fucking cop is, or the detective. You don't want to be, insulting detectives here and calling them cops. Fucking, if you're talking to an equal intelligence to you, you know what they surpass you in? Cop procedure.
So they might be.
It's actually their expertise, believe it or not.
Damn, I was going to say we refer to them as an expert.
They're kind of what's the word again? Yeah, an expert in the law. So why would you, not an expert in the law, be like, I'll fucking gamble?
Thank God we're having this conversation, dude.
Because you're an idiot when talk about everything all the time without thinking.
I was going to say they would think I'm guilty of a crime I wasn't even nowhere near. I was never near the crime, let alone possibly committing it. I would manage to be getting arrested and trial.
Exactly, that happens.
And I would never even.
That's why you need a lawyer all the time.
Because it didn't even occur to me I could just say,
and also, they tell you it's your right to have an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used. They didn't say, hey, you might say something and maybe it'll be. No, they said anything you say can and also will be.
Yeah, but it's misleading by using those words so close together.
Yeah, purposefully.
And also, you have the right to an attorney sounds like if we decide you have a problem.
No, you have a right to attorney this very second. See, anything you say can and also will be used against you in the court of law.
I got some water in my head and I'm not thinking
a little
straight.
You must be.
But like I always think it just means if there's an issue, then you can determine.
No, they're literally telling you, hey, get a fucking lawyer. And then they're like, I'm not coming back for 30%. I am coming back for everything. But no, and then the other part of that, with cops is
ROBBIE, man.
Yeah, that's that. No. To answer your question about if I would fare well in an interrogation.
What was that?
To answer your question that you asked me.
No, the word you said interrogation.
Doesn't give a fuck how I pronounced it. No, what? I'm not a fucking expert. It's a fucking show. What? What? It's a fucking rehearse? No.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Things happen. All right. Gee. Whoa. No, really. I don't know, because my egotistical nature makes me think, I got this in the bag. But again, I would refuse to talk about a lawyer present under every circumstances, no matter what, because you're stupid not to do that. And then they're saying, well, I can't afford an attorney. They also told you that little fun fact, too.
Yeah.
If you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided for you.
Yeah, but that's going to be some pro bono jerk off who probably isn't even that good.
Doesn't matter. As long as there's a lawyer there, you're already in a better situation than you were prior.
Like, what if you get Henry Winkler from Arrested Development?
Look at the court thrown out for being fucking like this was not handled properly. This is.
I guess you're right.
Just get out. Just throw the entire case out. And on top of that, though, it's also what I do think. Though, here's the real thing I was pondering today as I was watching these fucking dumb fucking morons sit in a 4x4 room.
You notice how often I laugh at like Clark Duke?
That's cool, man.
You ever noticed that before?
I have, maybe, perhaps. Yeah, I didn't put the pieces together. Now you said it. Hey, Clark Duke.
Yeah, right.
No, the real takeaway is that, well, not the takeaway, just what I was pondering, like I said, when I was reflecting, if you will, I thought, actually, here's one side point. I'll go back to the interesting thing at the end. They were saying, the really crazy part, though, because even though I think the micro expressions are a little fucking, a little fucking woo, right? The verbal stuff I think is a lot more admissible, Because like if I'm talking like this to you randomly and instantly, if you've asked me like a bunch of yes or no questions and I've been saying no, yes, and I just randomly for one of them just shake my head, you're like, I'm sorry, why'd you just say give me like 3 questions. Like let's say there's a crime happened at a house, my neighbor's house at night. Ask me like 3 questions like, were you there at night? Where be a cop.
What were you doing last night at around 7:30 p.m.?
It has to be yes or no questions.
Were you home last night around 7:30 p.m.?
Yes.
Did you happen to hear any noise going on next door around 7:30 p.m.?
Yes.
What could fuck? I thought you were going to just do the bit there. Fuck.
Let's restart.
This is really unprofessional.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's restart the questions.
Were you home? Thank you for giving me that. Were you home last night on the hours of 7:30 p.m. between?
Yes.
Okay. Did you happen to notice any noise going on next door?
Yes.
If you heard the noise, how come you didn't alert anyone?
Is that a yes or no question, Robbie? You're so bad at this.
Yeah. Okay, you do it then, smart ass. You do it.
You're not, just give me one more question. Be like, did you see anyone leave the house? That'd be the 3rd question. Okay. Do the 3 questions again.
Okay. Did you happen to have any alcohol that night, sir?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You're so bad at this.
Sir, were you home last night between the hours of 7th? Okay. Thanks for cutting me off. Did you happen to notice any noise going on?
Yes.
Okay. Were you drinking any alcohol, sir?
So and I see that's like, well, that's interesting. He was being very direct, very, very sure, saying yes, no, and then he just suddenly changes his shaking his head.
It became a muppet.
That's a weird thing to change in the middle of a conversation, isn't it?
That's a little odd, yeah.
That seems like that's interesting.
What's this thing called a macro expression or micro expression?
Micro expressions, but I'm saying that's more of like a verbal one where it's like that's not necessarily. I mean, obviously they're saying it's a micro expression, but it's like those ones have a little more fucking weight to them than someone just turning their palm up or down. Yeah. Someone being like, "Oh yeah, I just suddenly decided to not be directing my response to you for the first time in this entire hour interview."
I thought you were going to say the guy like say. Now you ask me a question, okay? Ask me a
yes or no question still.
It doesn't matter.
Where were you on the 14th?
I was probably at home playing video games.
What were we playing? What games were you playing on the 14th?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. So you just whoa! Why did you just change your reaction? That makes sense to me. That one I agree with. That okay. That's
what I thought you were going to do. I didn't think you were going to shake your head like a cartoon.
No. It's like I'm sorry. Or even and then there's also like using words like you should not be like if you're talking. First off, you should have a lawyer there. Second of all, if you have a lawyer there and let's say you are answering the question, you should very very much avoid the. You're probably doing something.
Probably.
Most likely. Took
could have been.
How do you, I don't know. Let's say, for instance, how often do you take a shower? Probably every day. Probably about every day. Like every day I do it. Like every day. It's like interesting because it doesn't sound like you do it every day. Because it sounds like you're giving me an answer here.
Sounds like you're trying to convince me.
That's the point. So you shouldn't be using words like probably, most of the time, almost every day. You should be very direct in your speech. And that's the point. So when you are being direct in your speech and you throw in one of those curveballs like probably, I don't know, probably, maybe, who knows? It throws everything. I'm like, okay, that's a mark that down. So yeah, he answered the last 47 questions very direct. And then when I asked him, "Hey, did you fucking kill your wife?" They were like, "I don't think so. I do not believe I did. I don't know. I don't believe I did. I don't think I'm capable of that." It's like interesting. You didn't even have a southern accent till this question. I just think it's a bit buried. It's buried. What do you mean by that? It just comes out when I'm more comfortable. You're more comfortable living in interrogation? We've been talking for an hour, yeah. I'm pretty comfortable,
I wasn't before, but now I am. So
now I know you.
Now I know, yeah.
It's pretty good stuff, though. And the one thing I don't like, though, this is the thing I don't like. Fucking, a couple of the crimes I was watching were like sexual assault crimes, SA crimes, or whatever. And the fucking, it's just weird having a cop like, take your dick out? You whip your dick out? It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, have some civility. You put your fucking prick in that? It's like, whoa. And like the guy saying, how many? Because the one guy was saying, is like, oh no, I had sex. Like, I don't need to fucking. I get pussy all the time. Why would I? That was his defense. He's like, I get pussy constantly, and it's like that's a good defense.
You see me,
bro. Also, dude, you know what I love too? It's funny too. Every one of these people I'm watching and interrogated, there's only 2 fucking classes they fall under. It's either fucking tweaker thin or roid head, and there's nothing in between. They either think their body's a temple or they think it's the bane of their existence. Those are the 2 fucking operations that these people live in. It's one or the other. Nothing in between. But he's like, I get fucked all the time. And the law, he's being civil. He's like, yeah, I engage in intercourse very frequently. And the guy's like, you get laid a lot? It's like, Jesus Christ. You get laid a lot, son? You get a lot of fucking pussy?
So
I don't know. I guess it's obviously to make him, to either A, make him feel like he can be more comfortable, more forthcoming, or it's so that he feels that he's unsure of how to respond to them, or thinks they're being more jovial. Maybe he thinks that if they're talking to him in that kind of a way, they make him think that he's not a suspect as much.
The way doing it that way is the way JJ whenever he's trying to be like one of the boys.
When he'd be like, yo, you sex with your girlfriend? That's fucking hot. You're a lucky guy. I'm like, okay. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, that guy sucked.
That's but what that sounds like.
I don't think he would handle. I'll answer your question. I don't think he'd handle. I think he would fold the way a lot of people fold earlier. Oh no! I think it's my last point. Here's the final point. Fucking, I pondered. Right?
It's amazing you can remember this stuff.
I was like, I wonder if you do successfully, hypothetically, not me, of course, not me, if you were to fucking go into an interrogation, let's say a hypothetical person who's not me, right? This person goes into an interrogation room, they are guilty, not me, this person is. This hypothetical, exercise we're running through. This guy, not me, he fucking does the interrogation. He gets through the entire interrogation successfully, gets away with the crime.
Not you.
Not me. This hypothetical guy I'm talking about.
I'm not gay, but if I was, I would want equal rights. Exactly. I'm not gay.
Pop star, never stop. My point is, fucking... If Andy Samberg was, committing a crime and he was in an interrogation room and he did do the crime and went through the entire interrogation, stayed face, didn't get caught, gets off scot-free, they never solved it, right? I wonder, this is what my real contemplation was, does that person you think more often look, I mean, I'm assuming the answer is not the positive one, it's probably the negative one. But just hear me out here. Do you think if the person gets through, if Andy Samberg got through an interrogation successfully, do you think Andy Samberg would then think he's untouchable and just do it again and I can beat the system over and over again? Or do you think he'd be like, all right, I got off that one, I'm gonna change some shit around? Because I was thinking, it's like if you can because especially a lot of these guys who are getting interrogated, they have like a rap sheet where it's like a lot of robbery or a theft, maybe a couple fights, some indecent exposure, drunk driving. They have some things going on. It's like, so they've gone through all those. What?
Whip your dick out?
Yeah. Whip your dick out. So all those guys fucking, they have like a couple things going on. So they've had, they've gotten this far in their life without any serious repercussions for all these little, skirmishes here.
Misdemeanors.
So I wonder if they then, did like the cardinal stuff, right? Like they commit murder and they get away with it. Would they be like, fuck it, I'm fucking invincible? Or would they say, Jesus Christ, that was close, don't do that again? What do you think is the more likely outcome there? Or is it like the thing, you got one word in there, that's an accomplishment. Or do you think it's more where they're like, do you think it comes down to the fact where it's like, well, I feel like this was fucking exhilarating. I don't know, where am I going to find? NASCAR doesn't seem as fun anymore. Driving in a circle when I can just be, talking to the cops about how I'm innocent. Someone ever just more of an addiction where like, this was a rush.
I think the two, because you gave me a couple options there at the end. I think also when it becomes super exhilarating to them is one of the more likely option.
Yeah. I think the least likely option is the one where they're like, I'm done, I'm retired.
No, I think a lot of people would probably start off that way, but then slowly creep back and want to get back. Yeah, because they're like, wow, it was great, I got away with it. Why stop me from doing it again?
Yeah,
I think it was hard then, but it's easier this time.
Here's something I'll say, and why I don't think I would ever be in an interrogation room for a serious crime like that is because of the fact that
hypothetically, this is not us at all.
Though. No, my point is, all those people talk about it's a fucking. They'll talk like how. Usually, like how they have these early. They'll say it wasn't premeditated, but they say like it was a slow burn, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like for the last 6 years, I thought about every once in a while just fucking shooting everyone, right? It's like
who hasn't? Not us.
Well, no, the fact that you haven't done it for 6 years, though, in my mind would be like, all right, I've had the thoughts, I haven't followed through them, which means I'm capable of not following through them, so I don't have no reason to follow through on these thoughts.
Yeah.
That's how my mind works. And more importantly, too, any thought you have, your brain, you control your brain. You're not reacting. I hate everyone. Fuck off. I fucking hate everyone. Like, it happened. It's like, no, you allowed it to happen. You caused it to happen. You could have done something better. You can regret it, sure, but you still did. Like, you allowed yourself to get to that point. At any point, you can always, you should have control of yourself and your physical. It's like, that's why it's kind of dumb with like, oh, I was just upset. Okay, maybe go for a run. Get yourself. You know what to do?
Yeah, but what's more exhilarating? Go
get a fucking ice. Get a waffle cone double scoop of flavor your choice, and then tell me if you want to still commit a horrendous act against people. No, you don't. So that's what I'm saying. That's the fucking government institution I want to get behind is sublime. You know, everyone's talking about, oh, we should have a fucking free school and free living and free healthcare. No, we should get like some fucking. No one's. That's the dumb thing. Everyone's gonna get those things and be like, oh, this is fucking lame. I want more of a cool shit. You know. Everyone's like, oh, wow, great. I can go to the doctor for free. Terrific. No one's actually going to care. There's like, who the fuck is it? No one's like, yeah, I'm going to the fucking doctor, right? If we built in these fucking reward system like the fucking little guinea pigs we are, and we were like, hey guys, on Fridays across the nation, ice cream's free. Like, yeah, let's wait till Friday to get my ice cream.
That's so true, dude.
If we had better reward incentives to be good, it's that simple. We're stupid. We're dumb. We're sheep. We're sheeple. Okay? It's easy. Just hurt us better.